Has anyone else noticed that Australia has kind of become its own genre of joke on the internet? And I'm not just talking about specific Australians like Rebel Wilson or Natalie Tran. I'm just talking your average run-of-the-mill Tumblr user. I was thinking about it, and we have a very strange like cultural perception of ourselves as a Western country despite not being anywhere near actual Western countries. Because of that and the fact we have a tiny population and no real way of exporting our culture in the same way that the UK or America or even Canada has because of a teeny tiny entertainment industry. We get a lot of information about how these people live their lives, but we don't actually have any way of sharing it with other people. So there's the fun and games of getting to introduce people to things like Golden Gay Times, or the fact that we rearranged the time that we were going to have a federal election debate so that it wasn't clashing with the MasterChef finale one year. Day drinking and swearing and living in a Hunger Games arena with like hoop snakes and drop bears, lest we forget. And also the joy of pictures like this. I may or may not be guilty of spreading all of these things on Tumblr. We spend half of our time butting into other people's posts like aggressive members of the Super Hulock fandom. Seriously guys. And the other half of the time laughing by ourselves about the fact that we can repeat a sequence of numbers and any Australian will then get a jingle stuck in their head for the rest of the day. You're welcome. Actually, we just get really aggressive with our Australianness when we're online. I know that when I am talking to people online who are from different countries, I find myself getting more and more Australian without meaning to. I have said the phrase, nah mate, she'll be right, more in Google Plus Hangouts and Skype chats than I ever intend to in real life. But the thing I do actually like about Australian internet culture is the fact that we kind of embrace how ridiculous we are in this sort of dry, self-depreciating way, which is very Australian. This kind of comes from our interpretation of the tall poppy syndrome, because Australia has this huge underdog culture, which I think probably came from being colonized by convicts. Yeah. The best way I can explain this in practical application is in a group of friends, you don't want to be the person who's succeeding in great things. You want to be the person who is able to make fun of themselves despite your success. And we do make fun of ourselves. A lot. Can we just roll the picture again, or... That was a major tangent, but I think the Australian joke genre thing is interesting because not only is social media giving us a chance to share a lot of things about our culture in sort of the simple way, like living in a Hunger Games arena and hoop snakes and shit, but it's also becoming a way in which we can share our own attitudes and what I find to be quite a unique sense of humour. We may never be a cultural epicenter, but we can be the best at swearing and making fun of ourselves. And I think that's kind of a beautiful encapsulation of the Australian dream. Not that impressive, but very funny and incredibly achievable.